Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with episodes 10 through 12 of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. If you're wondering about the lighting right off the bat, I apologize for that. Not really something I can help. It's the time of day I'm recording. The sun is like right up there in the sky, shining through the curtains. And since we have curtains and not blinds, it's like can't really block it out per se. So it's going to like still come through and be like patchy looking and shit, and I apologize. Anyway, your next question may be why 3 episodes here? Um, because I want to. It's really as simple as that. Plus, after that, that means there's 4 episodes left in the season, and I can probably do them in groups of 2. Because the final 2 episodes are a two-parter, I do know that. And so then this will be make me able to get through these a little quicker. Um, and there's a couple reasons I want to get through them a little quicker. Not because I'm not liking this show or I want to just like rush through it or anything. But one, there's a show I want to get to uh, that I need the space open for, and this is really the and not necessarily the quickest thing for me to do that, but in terms of what this space is used for, um, it's what I'm going to be able to make work the best. Let's just put it that way. It's what I'm going to be able to make work the best. The second thing to note, the second kind of reason why I'm kind of pushing through these last episodes is because I feel so behind on this. Like with the series having like finished its 16 episode run a while back, and it's like I just feel like I'm really behind. I feel like I'm like it's like one of those like FOMO moments, fear of missing out and all. I feel like I need to catch up. Like I haven't been too worried about spoilers, haven't had much of any issue with that. But I'm just kind of like I want to get to it, you know? I just want to get to it and say I can be ready for when season 2 does come. I believe it's set for February. Um, and hopefully at that point we can keep better track of it a little easier. Though no real guarantee with that, but we'll try. So yeah, those are kind of the reasons. Um, and now we're just gonna kind of have to see what we're gonna focus on. I assume these are still gonna mostly be episodic. I assume we're not gonna get like any big story stuff until probably the last 4 episodes. The last 2 definitely, obviously, but we'll see. We'll see. As long as it still ends up being just as good as it has been, that's what's important to me. So let's just get on with it. Hope for the best, and hopefully the lighting fixes itself and doesn't get too dark too quickly, because that would present a different problem. In the meantime, like I said, we're just going to get on with this and hope for the best. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then it fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episodes. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So I went back and listened to Odessa again. Yeah, I wouldn't have realized that. She's doing a much different voice, Anna Akana, than she does like with Gloria or Sasha from Amphibia. It's a very different voice. She's putting on like this character, which is fitting for Odessa's character. But yeah, I wouldn't have recognized that, so I don't feel as bad about not realizing that was Anna Agana. That's really cool though. That's a really fun little vocal cameo there. Let's talk about these episodes in order. So we started with Moon Girl's Day Off. This one, Lunella fakes being injured. Not anything major, like a just twisted ankle. But she fakes to get out of doing some stuff because she wants a break and feels like she doesn't want to put Casey out by just telling her. Unfortunately, it ends up putting Casey out anyways because Casey has to take over playing Moon Girl for the day, while Lunella basically gets waited on hand and foot by her grandmother. Um, and eventually Lunella learns her lesson through talking with her grandma and comes to realize that there's nothing wrong with asking for help or asking for anything. If you need to take time off, if you need something from someone, there's no problem with that. This is another lesson that I have had to learn myself. I have a very hard time asking people for things, especially things that I need. Which sounds weird because it's like you would think things that you need would be easier to ask for, but it is not. And it sucks because it's like a lot of like friends and family have been helpful and have been willing to help out when I have asked. It's just I always feel like I'm putting them out if I do. So I understand this feeling here. And wanting time off and stuff is part of that for sure. Seeing Casey act as Moon Girl was pretty great. And then obviously at the end, Lunella coming in to help her. It was a fun episode. Then we had the next episode after that, like Mother, like Moon Girl. And in this one, we have basically what amounts to as Team Rocket. We have a couple of high-tech gentrifiers, basically, who have come into the Lower East Side and are putting forth this initiative to ramp it up, to vamp it up, to make it like more modern and a bigger deal, basically. Unfortunately, they end up putting out a lot of products and initiatives that do more harm than good to the community, especially to the people within it, the artists, the vendors, just everyone around. So Lunella has to deal with the fact that she endorsed this, like, very publicly, and has to not only apologize for it, but make it right. I love that in the end, with her mother's help, they stage a peaceful protest block party. I think that's a fantastic idea. Take back the block is a great slogan. And in the end, when the couple, Team Rocket couple, become aggressive, Moon Girl does at that point step in and fights and defeats them, but only steps in at that point. And the episode has a notable focus on Lunella and her mother's relationship, showing them having a big bonding moment, showing them like connecting, even if at some points they don't realize it because, you know, Lunella's acting as Moon Girl at the time. But it's gonna be really interesting to see if all of these family moments come to a head in the finale. I'm thinking they probably could. Also, through these episodes, we got randomly Beyonder is back. He's just back and explaining the villains again. Except now we get to actually see him explaining the villains. Like when he just like paused the episode to explain. That was fantastic. And then we had Today I Am a Woman. This episode was all about Lunella trying to help Casey have the best bat mitzvah ever, and in the end they both make mistakes that cause issues to come up between them as well as with the bat mitzvah itself. And then there's this influencer named Odessa who just fucks everything up as well because she's actually a secret villain, a secret member of this thieves guild. So that's fun. The episode deals in this one with Lunella's relationship with Casey. Again, these episodes are dealing with a lot of relationships, and you might want to say like, oh, but this time it's not a family member. It's like this episode made a very big point of saying, yes, it is. Casey and Lunella are chosen family. Friends can be and often are chosen family. That's a very important thing, a very important concept, I guess you could say, that has become a lot more notable, a lot more of a thing in the recent years. The idea of chosen and found family. And again, they make a very big point out of this in the episode. And like Casey directly refers to Lunella as her chosen family. So it's not by any means a stretch to say that. This still counts. The relationship is heavily focused on here with, again, them having an argument based on both of them handling things wrong. Casey gets way too obsessed with having the best bat mitzvah that she begins neglecting the friend that was helping her have it in the first place. And Lunella becomes honestly a little too self-obsessed in this. She wants all the attention for herself and becomes a little selfish. And instead of just being happy for Casey on her big day, is a little bit making it about her. But both sides are wrong, and both sides do apologize in the end. Odessa ends up getting defeated with Casey's help at the end, and the bat mitzvah goes off really well, even ending off in the Lafayette roller rink. We also see that Odessa was left in the closet and is suddenly confronted and apprehended by Sam Wilson as Captain America. Not Steve Rogers, specifically Sam Wilson. And that kind of makes me wonder, does this take place in the same universe as the MCU? Or is this just another universe where Sam happens to currently be, Captain America? If this is supposed to canonically take place in the same universe as the MCU, though, that would be pretty sick. I do worry a bit that maybe the big reveal of Sam at the end there might have taken a little bit away from this episode being, Casey's bat mitzvah. And I also kind of feel like there's a little bit taken away with the entire superhero fight against Odessa as well. And I'm not saying that the episode can't have conflict, but I kind of wish the conflict was scaled down a little more so that Casey could have the focus. Because God knows she deserves it. And this episode, like, when it does focus on that stuff, is so sweet and beautiful. Learning about her fathers and their wedding day. Finding out in the first place that she's Jewish. Because, again, I do not think that was ever mentioned before. And seeing everything she's doing to prepare for this and how big of a deal this is for her. And it's like, when it focuses on that kind of stuff, it's like, it's amazing. It's one of my favorite episodes. But I can't argue that the other stuff does take away a bit from it. Not like a huge amount, like it doesn't ruin the episode by any means. But like you compare it to like the Ghost and Molly McGee with how it handled it with Libby's bat mitzvah. And it's like, yes, it also had a conflict between Libby and Molly. With Molly trying to give Libby the best bat mitzvah, but Libby wanted it more low-key because Libby. And it caused a little bit of an issue and a rift, but there was no like massive big like ghost they had to fight or anything. There wasn't like this big like villain. And so having like Odessa here end up being a villain instead of just being like, a snobby kind of asshole influencer, it took away a little bit from Casey in the focus. And again, when it focuses on Casey and the entire stuff, and even her conflict with Lunella specifically, all of that stuff is fantastic. and definitely makes this episode still be really freaking great. But I do feel like again, I know this is a superhero show. I understand that. And I'm kind of thinking maybe the network might have gotten involved there. I'm kind of wondering if like maybe the network, if they like forced the superhero stuff to be in here, and maybe the creators wanted it to be more about Casey's bat mitzvah more directly. I mean, I can't say for sure. I'm not going to just assume, but I could believe it. I could believe that they would want to force the superhero stuff in here to keep that identity with the series going. It just it feels not exactly forced, but needless. And again, the Captain America moment at the end, I feel like a lot of people watching this, I don't know for sure, obviously, because I haven't seen spoilers for this. This very much caught me off guard. But I'm wondering now if, like, if I went on Twitter and searched up this episode, I'm wondering and kind of worried that a lot of people might have focused more on that than on Casey. And it's just like, I'm just a little disappointed. Like Casey put it in the one episode, this is what it feels like to not be mad but disappointed. um, that's what it feels like here. And again, it doesn't ruin the episode. The episode is still great. It's still the best of the three of these and one of the best of the series for sure. I would have to look through and think about all the episodes again before I could make a fully accurate list, but definitely one of the best. But it does cause there's a couple issues that I just wish were adjusted for, just personally. But the fact that we have another major character in one of these Disney shows that is, a a a Jewish girl who we get to see the bat mitzvah for, and has connection to queer characters is amazing to see. Like, it's just fantastic, and I love it so much. I love that this is that we're getting a lot more of this Jewish representation because it's something you just really haven't seen. Like, I think the only other like cartoon that at least can think of that I have ever seen that has touched on Jewish representation is Rugrats. And honestly, it wasn't the best representation. Like a lot of people have pointed out, there was some stereotyping in how it was handled. But the fact that we're getting this is a huge deal. The fact that this episode also gives a great focus to Casey's dads and talks about their wedding and everything, amazing. I love the shit out of that. Like, I've made it no secret Casey is my favorite character, and I fucking love that she's the daughter of, mixed queer fathers. Like, that's so fucking amazing. And, like, I just feel this episode could have been better. Just a little bit. Again, not bad, still amazing. But I also want to check something real quick before we finish this off. I actually want to check one of these voices in the last episode here. Give me just a second to find it again. I have to find the voice cast. Okay. Because Pamela Adlon. Okay. It's like, because the name Pamela Adlon definitely sounded familiar to me. So I want to check. She was Spinelli in Recess. That's amazing. Bobby in King of the Hill. Oh, geez. Okay, that's probably what I mostly know her for then. She was apparently in Rugrats, according to this. Okay, give me a second here. I was fucking right. Okay. See, this is something I wanted to check because I'm listening to her as Rabbi Rita. Is it Rita or Rita? I'd have to hear it again. Because most of the time they talked about her, they just referred to her as Rabbi. But I'm listening to her. I'm listening to her voice. I'm like, I know that voice. And so I'm looking through her credits here, Pamela Adlon's credits, and it's like Bobby Hill. That's where I might recognize the name from. But that's not the voice by any means. Neither is Spinelli. Though, thinking about it, I can very much hear in my head Bobby from King of the Hill and Spinelli from Recess having the same voice. I can very much hear that. But I thought about it, and so I wanted to look it up here, and I was right. Pamela Adlon is Leia Stein Torres from Ghost of Molly McGee. She's Libby's mother. I'm here. I heard her speak, and instantly I'm thinking like, where is that voice from? I know that voice, and I'm thinking like, and after I stopped recording the reaction, I was kind of thinking about it, and I forgot to look it up before starting this, so I just looked it up here, and yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, Leia Stein Torres. You couldn't really see that well, but Pamela Adlon is her. Um, it's definitely her. I definitely recognize the voice there. Um, so that's pretty interesting. Also, she is apparently, I guess, Milo's mom in Milo Murphy's Law. She's a character named Tabby in the Loud House. Um, and it's just seemingly in very. Oh yeah, she was Vidya in the Tinkerbell movie Pirate Fairy, and the first Tinkerbell movie. Or yeah, no, that's a short. Okay, so that was a short. But she played Vidya from the Tinkerbell Disney Fairy series. So that's pretty fun too. Because I reacted to that. Oh no, other movies are being shown here. Yeah, she's just, I guess, the voice of Vidya, just in general. I would have to go back on that to, recognize that. But yeah, she's Leia Stein Torres, and now she's in this as well. It's like that's cool. I love that. Um, but yeah, I would not have guessed that Odessa was Anna Kana at all. It just would not have crossed my mind. Like I would never have even thought about that. But yeah, three good episodes here, and funny enough, each episode it's like I watched the first episode. Oh, I'm definitely gonna have Casey in the Moon Girl costume as my thumbnail. I watched the second episode. Oh no, it's gonna be the block party thing, or maybe Lunella hugging her mom. I watched the third episode. No, okay, it's Casey. It's Casey during her bat mitzvah, 100%. I mean, you'll have seen that already, but yeah. Um, but yeah, I enjoyed this. And so, as I said, the plan from here is we're going to do the next two episodes together, 13 and 14. And then after that, there's the final two episodes of the season, 15 and 16. And that's a two-part finale. So that's our plan. So we have two more videos for Moon Girl coming up. And we'll probably get them done fairly soon. Because like I said, there's something I want to get to. And the best slot for me to put it in right now, because other slots are pretty much taken, or figured out already, or just don't really work for what I'm going for. This is the best slot to put it in, so I think that's what we're going to do. So, in the meantime, tell me in the comments below what are your thoughts on these 3 episodes of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.